got fresh on the scene. Back got fresh on the scene. Back got fresh on the scene.
Back got fresh on the scene.
Back got fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team. Franchise best on the team. Franchise best on the team. Franchise best on the team.
Franchise best on the team.
Back got fresh on the scene.
Back got fresh on the scene.
Yo, we back out in front. Hey, man, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, bros?
Ah, man,
What's
ain't
going
much,
on,
man. How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling good, feeling good, feeling great.
Right over.
In the holiday spirit.
Holiday. I see you, man. Get your Santa on, getting your ho ho ho.
I'm gonna rock the jacket, but I ain't gonna do that now. You got
Yo, somebody asked about that jacket, bro. They asked about the jacket with the lights, man. They want to know what's up.
Nah, man, ain't nobody in the world got that jacket, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. That jacket was a fluke. That was
He said,
like a year ago, and I was like, man, I don't know when I'm gonna wear this. But we was doing like ugly sweaters.
yeah.
He was like, yo, let's do ugly suits. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this blazer. Just had it in the closet, and look at that. Perfect. National TV saw me in that. Crazy, yo.
Shout out to Jay Turner. Let's see, we got Brickman Mosaic Arts in the house.
All right.
Remy Baker is in the house.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. So how do we feel about last night's episode? How do we feel? How do you feel like we measured up?
Let me speak honestly.
Yes, indeed.
Everything that I wanted in the episode was achieved.
Mm-hmm.
And when I mean everything that I wanted, number one, for us to talk about Lego, breaking it down, showing technique. That was one. Number two, I wanted personality to come out. And number three, I wanted it to be more than just competition, but for us to validate ourselves as the reason as to why we were on two different episodes, two different networks. So I wanted to validate that, and I feel as though that the episode did us justice, and did the community of Lego justice, because a lot of eyes saw this, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing, that a lot of eyes saw it, and kids woke up this morning or last night and said, I want to go buy. I want a Lego set. I want to build a action hero Ultrabot. I want that. And that's the most important thing to me.
Very cool. Manny, what you think, man? How you feel you measure up?
I mean, we did what was set out to be done. We represented, the whole body of Lego Masters, here in the U.S. I certainly could say that we represented, each other, well. I think we did an awesome job. We not only did we do this outside of whatever, but we did this with the intent of giving back. So I mean that's a righteous deed. It feels good knowing that we did something that it wasn't so much for us. We did this in mind that we were giving back the whole time. So I feel great. Me personally, I think we rocked out yesterday. I think we gave a lively performance. We did what we set out to do. So I'm happy with the results. I'm glad everything worked out. In the midst of us dropping Ultrabot, seeing that was just a trip. And I'm here like I'm watching it. And I'm seeing you guys, and I'm like walking away, and then they didn't see me turning around and trying to run to you guys. But in the midst of that, in the midst of all that hardship that was presented, we still delivered. So I feel great. I think we did an awesome job. I think get us together. Next time. Redemption, Mel. You already know. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Brainiac, man. How you think we measured up?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you for all the people tuning in right now. As far as our performance on the show, it's phenomenal. I love the fact that the production team actually gave us some camera time, gave us some background, let the people really get a chance to connect with us and show the building. That's what everybody was missing from Lego Masters, was being able to show us building, see the building process. So, I think that came out great. I think all of us stepped up our level since Lego Masters, showed how much stronger we got, and even how much closer we got as a family, representing, during a crazy time. And I'm proud of us, man. I'm truly proud of us.
Right. Good deal. The youngster, man. How you think we measured up, man?
Youngblood. Guys, I mean, you guys all said it all already. You know what I mean? Like I think we did outstanding, honestly. I think we really gave the audience what they really wanted. Not only did they want to see us how we build in general, but just how we communicate and how we interact with each other. I think also I was happy that, like what Jermaine said, I was happy that we were highlighted our attributes, what we're strong in, maybe areas that we maybe didn't do so well in. I was surprised on certain liberties that they didn't. I don't know if we're spoiling stuff right now, unless you guys want to get in a spoiler conversation. Like certain things that I thought they were going to do when they showed us, they didn't show like the big struggles that we had. I think like the biggest one, they didn't show like in the very beginning. But still, I was very happy to see. I was very happy just to be there again with you guys and to see our process and growth. And, I'm excited to show Buddy versus Christmas really capitalized on that. So we took their notes, and it was. I think it was great.
Good deal. All right, so I guess it's my go. First off, I want to thank the brothers for actually including me in this journey, man. Let me be a part of it, and and I was happy to hop in the seat and ride, man, with you guys, man. It definitely was a blast, man. I had so much fun, man. I was so sad that week came to an end like that, man. Like at the end, it went by so fast. I think we represented, man. Like I said, I think this episode was about redemption because, like I said, I think a lot, it's a lot of people that believe in us, like the people that are watching us today, and the people that are, that watch the episodes. A lot of people, like the people on Lego Masters, our friends on Lego Masters, they believed in us, but there's a lot of people that just don't, they don't believe in you, and so and it made it clear, and it was good to kind of have that redemption and say, hey, look, this is, given in the right circumstance, this is what we could do. And it's funny because even that situation was like it was a silver spoon, right? But we didn't have, and we'll talk about it, we didn't have every book. Matter of fact, we had less bricks than you would at Lego Masters. We had less bricks.
That's correct.
We'll talk about it, and it just, the creativity had flourished, and yeah, granted, we're a team of 5 and not a team of 2, but I think that we flourished because that more irons in the fire makes the situation very difficult, and I think we were able to come together as a great team and kind of iron the wrinkles out and create something that was memorable. I really do. So
Agreed. I think 2 hands are better than 1. 2 minds are greater than 1. And in this challenge, we had 5 great minds. We had, so many hands, on Ultrabot, and I think, it was all of us collectively, with everything that we were doing, and with the talents that we have, we created that. So yeah. Of course, Corey, Travis, thank you for including me. Thank you.
Yeah, man,
so let's start from the beginning. Before we even get on to the show, they call Corey and let Corey know what the score is. So now we're talking about logistics, right? We're talking about how many bricks and stuff like that. So we're doing meetings like little over the phone meetings and stuff like that, and Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And we're trying to go over the logistics. Your boy Manny was going ham about these bricks, bro. He was going, my man.
I still got the screenshots too. I still got the screenshots of water. I got that. I got it.
4,200 black 2x4s and 6,000 2x4 red bricks.
I'll tell you why I was so big on that, because watching the show, right? I think Buddy and his team, I think it's safe to say they knew the advantage that we had, and the same thing, vice versa. It's like they know how many gallons of milk, how much flour is going to take to produce, whatever. In our case, we didn't know that, so I was so pressed on, like the piece count and all the elements, because I'm here like, that's our ingredient, So I felt like, if we knew what ingredients we were going to do, the cake that we were going to do, or the toy that we were going to do, I'm here like, let's, but, yeah, I was on that, right, guys? I was on the.
you double checking, triple checking.
And then when it was time to put the bricks down, man, and press bricks in, man, it still didn't matter because we still ran short, right? And they did show that, and I'm glad they did, because it came to a point where, we had to stop. Like bricks had to stop, and we stopped for a good while. It was probably probably a half hour, 40 minutes, right?
That's what I mean. They didn't really show that. We really took a step back. We really had to
that Thursday. Yeah, it was that Thursday. We had a pause.
And so we're pressing out the feet to this thing, and we run out of red bricks. And I tell Jermaine, dude, there's no more red left. What do you mean there's no more? I'm telling you this guy, we're looking in bins, we're looking around. I think one of y'all went to go talk to the producer about possibly getting some more or whatever. And they're just looking at us like, and the cameras are rolling, dude. The cameras are rolling.
You gotta make this work. You gotta make it work.
I said, hey, the cameras are rolling. So what do you do? Like, what do you do at that point?
We go from a 6-foot Ultra Bot to a 4-foot. We shrank.
I think we made it a 5-foot. I think it ended up
5 foot. Yeah.
But you know what? It was interesting. It was very interesting because watching the show, and I remember they asked me. They said if you could describe the 3 gentlemen that you're bringing on with you. I said, you know what? I know me and my brother. We have a vision. We have an idea. But to be able to keep us, because I'm the type that I'm gonna go for the clouds. I'm in the clouds, and I need everybody here that was grounded, and everybody was grounded. Because sometimes my brother can bring me back down, but it takes a while to bring me back down. And everybody was grounded. So when you were saying, "Hey, we don't got no more reds," that was like a hole in my balloon.
Yeah,
I was like, "Dag, I'm falling hard," and y'all wasn't giving me no inch, like, well, maybe we can still get it. You were like, nah, we can't do it. So that pause was heavy. But that's what it's about when it comes to Lego building, right? When you're building a block, you order your pieces, you think you got everything, you realize, oh man, I need 500 more of these pieces. You have to order and then you gotta wait. We don't got time to wait.
And the thing about it, you couldn't turn to the cameras and say, "Oh well, the producers they cut us short." You know what I mean? You had to make it work.
Yeah, to make it work. Yeah. Yeah, they ask you what you want, and then they got the palette, and they tell you how many what was the inventory was, and like I said, like even Jermaine said it best. Like, look, all that stuff looked great on paper. All those numbers look great on paper. Like it looks like infinite numbers of but when you actually start putting those bricks together. We wasted. I don't want to say we wasted, but we used all that number of red bricks, which was one of the top numbers that we had, because that was one of the main colors of that bot.
18,000, I think. We went right 18,000.
But to their credit, they're getting bricks in the age of COVID.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to their credit, so that's why.
But to our credit,
New York
but to be
City was
honest,
shut down, right? Yeah, New York City was shut down, right? And they tried to
Exactly.
get every New York City Lego shop, and they were shut down. They were in the middle of a shutdown. They weren't even gonna let you over the bridge. That's how bad that was.
on our defense, when it comes to Lego and when it comes, to like the creative, feed, it's
Mhm.
always trial and error. Even in Lego Masters, even here doing, home challenges, it's always trial and error. So I think we did a good demonstration on showing, everyone, even as Lego Masters, what we could have had a piece inventory chart, 2 weeks before the project. We just demonstrated everybody, what, even if we had, 20,000, 24,000, red Lego bricks, we still had to, accommodate, work, trial by fire, just work whatever, and we made it happen.
Hey,
You know, they had to pull Lego from outside the tri-state area. We
Yeah.
had to go to Legoland to obtain some of these
Tell 'em.
pieces.
Tell them.
And it was so many. There was, when I saw the amount of stuff that they were able to get, I was like,
Yeah.
wow. And then when we got down to it, I was like, dang, we couldn't get certain things, but I was like, for the time frame that they had to get the items that we needed,
Mhm.
they pulled it off.
Yeah.
So I'll give my hats off to the production crew for
I mean,
KCAL
yeah,
Media. They did the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corey, me and you walked in that first day, and we were like, "Oh my God, we
Absolutely.
got this." Me and you, we were talking about it, and we're like, "Yo, we're literally seeing these pieces," and I'm telling Corey, I'm like, "Bro, we got this. We can make anything happen. We can build something from the floor to the ceiling." And then working with you guys, and then when someone makes that comment on like, "Yo, we're running out of red pieces. We're gonna have to shrink this," and you're like, "Wait a minute, we're looking through." We're
it's
looking through shoulders, over our shoulders. I'm like, wait,
It
there's
is nothing
a box
there.
of Legos over there. And it's like, no, we can't. We have to focus on the bigger picture. So
It's
like you
funny
were saying, we
because
have to imagine the whole thing. We have to picture the whole thing.
it's funny. You can do all imagination, but it's funny because remember when they took you away your room and they asked you your name and what your role was on this team and stuff like that. And so they asked me. I told them, I said, my name's Mel, and they asked me what my role was. I said, my role is I'm the enforcer. And the guy stopped and he looked and he's like, what do you mean? I said, a lot of these guys got big imaginations, and I said it's up to me to bring them back down into reality. I said because mad scientist in there, Jermaine, is going to have a sequence of how many bricks there's going to be laid out and how many bricks is going to be for every part. I said everybody has a big imagination except for me. I said because I'm looking at these bricks and I'm looking at the reality of stuff. And I said when somebody goes rogue, it's my job to put them back in line. I said I'm the guy to put them right back in line because I'm the enforcer. And he said, your role as police. He said, your role as police. I said my role as the police has a lot to do with that. I said because I got the art of persuasion. I'm gonna ask you once. I'm gonna tell it to you, and then I'm gonna make you do it. He was cracking up. He was cracking up, and so when it was going down, and the feet were like, I won't say the feet were failing, but when we ran out, we had to come back and reevaluate some stuff. It started to play out like, oh, okay. So when you said it was funny to see you say, hey, look, he's the he's the timekeeper and he's the guy for accountability. And then when it came down, it's like, boom. Look, this is the plan. So that was pretty cool, and it was cool to see that, like you said, that I really liked how they it was half of us and half of them. So you could see half of us, during that whole 60 minutes. And it wasn't no, hey, thank you. All right, great, thank you. And it wasn't that, it was like, and so it didn't feel rushed, even though it was just 60 minutes. And we're talking about like, that competition was a straight 24 hours, right?
Right.
And
Yes.
they're taking that 24 hours and they're compiling it into an hour, right? If an hour. And it didn't seem, the episode didn't seem rushed at all. And I applaud that. That's good producing.
Editing.
Yeah.
Me and Travis was saying this when we was talking about the legs, and I was just going in on, when we was talking to Buddy, how, the legs are so stable and it's strong and it's the base of our build. man, and the way that they did it when it crumbled, I was just like,
Yeah, it looked like you had pie in your face. Like, man, when you said that, I was like, and I watched it 3 times because the third time I wanted to actually analyze it. But and then I came across that, but you would brag, hey, it's sturdy, and that was true. We picked it up, we put it back down, we put the legs up, put it back down. Man, he kept picking it up, put it back down. He kept picking it up. I said, dude, put that thing down. He picking it up, he put it right back down, and so it was like, all right, these legs are good, right?
From what we thought, and then I guess we took it outside, and
we should. But you said, little brother said, "Yo, we should have had something underneath it." I think we were a little too cocky. It wasn't that it was fragile, because it wasn't fragile. We just got a little cocky with the build. The legs were looking dope, man. They were.
We all knew what had to get done as far as getting it to the van. I think it's just the way that they set it up. Like, they wanted us to fail for that one part.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
He rolled right onto the truck, and he's good. They said, no, you guys have to take it down these rickety wooden steps and get it to that van 100 feet over there.
Yeah. I was wondering why that van was so far away, and that's why I was mad. That's exactly why I was mad. That's why, because that was like, in my mind, I'm saying it doesn't make any sense why the van is probably all the way on the other side of the parking lot at this point. Like, why are we walking this long? Why are we walking this long to the car when you could just back this thing up to the steps?
And it's true.
Mike's face said it all. He was hoping for that. But I feel like all of our upsets, we didn't plan on them, but it just fits so perfectly with the essence of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we really made good television, even though we didn't try.
No, it was natural.
It was organic. Oh yeah, it was very organic. I mean, please, let's tell people, we didn't intentionally, want to drop, the lower torso of Ultrabot.
Yeah.
Or even with the
y'all ready for a funny story? Y'all ready? So let's talk about a funny story real quick. I'm gonna jump ahead real quick, but I mean, we're gonna talk about the full sequence, but I'm gonna jump ahead because it's funny story time, right? So, some of the effects, right? You had Travis and Corey. They made the box cut out for the Ultrabot and everything like that. We had the actual stand where the Ultrabot stood on. We had to spray paint that, right? So some of the special effects was, given to this guy right here, right?
The smoke machine.
He had the smoke machine, right? He had the smoke machine. We put the smoke machine inside the stand. You cut a hole in the stand, and the smoke come out. And it's gonna look great. It's gonna give this good effect and everything. My man was selling cool. All right. Get the smoke machine ready. Let's test the smoke machine. So he plugs it up. He go, and so we sitting there waiting. So where's the smoke at? Well, it's got to heat up. Okay, cool. So 30 minutes
for like an hour.
Like, hey, that smoke machine ain't working. I don't know. Well, let's see if we can turn it on. Where's the button at? What button? The button to turn it on. There's no button. How does it come on? It just comes on. Nah, I think you need a button. So we're looking at a button, and he my man unplugs it. He plugs it. And it goes, huh? No smoke. He unplugs it, he plugs it back in it, and it goes, no smoke. I said, oh man, come on, man. Come on, man. Smoke machine, no smoke, bro.
You know what's bad? They didn't show that part. They didn't mention that part. Therefore, this whole story could have stayed with the group.
And that's just Wednesday night. That was us trying to work it Wednesday night. Never mind Thursday night when we tried to redo it again with the smoke machine. Like,
when we all got home after shooting, I found out that it was a little car. It looked like a car alarm remote. That was the actual on and off button. There was no way I would have thought that was a thing. I've only used the thing one time, and I left the remote at home, and I didn't realize that would have gave us some fog. But
yeah, you better than me, man. If I found that out, I'd have destroyed that entire smoke machine, yo. And I've done stuff like that. I needed you for this moment I can't get this moment back. I don't need you. No, I don't even want to see you. I'm
He's
destroying
gonna toss it. He's gonna
Yeah,
toss
yeah.
it down the turnpike.
you. Yep.
Basically. I couldn't do
I don't
nothing
want no one
but
else to have
send
it.
you guys a video like this is how it works.
Right. Oh man. Oh, that's funny. So we building this thing up, man, and you know, like you say, you got the back and forth with Buddy on the screen and everything like that, man. And the funny thing about it is that, like, on the other side of the camera, watching that show, you see what the team is doing, but they kept it honest, right? They kept it honest between two teams, right? We couldn't really see what he was. All we saw was a naked cart, golf cart. That was it.
Mhm.
You know, he wasn't showing, and they really wasn't showing, you know, what we were doing, you know, from his side. So, you know, and which, you know, gives you the essence of surprise when it's time to reveal, right? And so, you know, I do like that part as well. And
You know, another funny story that wasn't shown was when old boy's son broke the hammer.
yeah.
That part they completely didn't.
That is true.
There he is.
That is true. They didn't show that. They didn't show when they dropped the hammer. That's so true.
Man,
I mean, in his defense, in Buddy's son's defense, it was a complete accident. They were trying to do something fun with us. Well, you know, have a little banter and everything like that. And then as soon as the time came, whoop, it's 1,000 pieces, man. And we took all last night Corey and I took all that night to dress it up and make sure it was presentable because we wanted to be sturdy.
hey, bro, that's your baby brother, man.
So, hold on. So, yeah, again, another story. They didn't hint to it. They didn't talk about it. Could have stayed in the group. So, man, now that part, it was an accident. But when he started to look me in my eyes and start to crumble the bricks that I built, I could have jumped through the TV. I was gonna walk over there.
And he took that little push room and started sweeping it.
Oh man, but you know it was fun. But you know what I loved about that though is when they said, "Hey, you know what, guys, we're so sorry about that. That's not what the show is about."
Yeah.
And that right there, that made me feel, you know, and not to say that that they were that this was all like staged and you know they just brought us on to embarrass us and my stuff, nothing like that. But it was like a genuine like, yo, we feel horrible about this because this is like you guys are artists, so no artist wants to see their work destroyed.
Right.
And they took that time to tell us that, and for me that was a lot for me. That meant enough for me to say, okay, well, accidents happen, it's no big deal. We're just happy to have this opportunity. So, you know, that meant a lot.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
But him crumbling them things in my face, looking me in my eye.
And then at the end of the shooting, they give it back to you in a bucket.
I got the bucket downstairs.
Oh, you never put it back together, bro?
Listen, man. I'm waiting on y'all.
You're trying to tell me that Axe made it to Portland, but you didn't put it together?
Yeah,
I got you. I understand. I got you, bro. I got you.
If I'm gonna rebuild that, I gotta rebuild it to look something totally different because it's been destroyed. That's it. I can't build that one again.
Yeah.
I gotta build something totally different.
You gotta go with the hammer, baby. You gotta go because my man got his hammer back. You gotta go with the full. You gotta go full out hammer.
I gotta do it. I gotta get some. I gotta make it big. I gotta make it huge, yo.
Yeah. So we roll into day one, right? And we get the legs in the bottom half of Ultrabot done, and it's in the books, right? Then on the second day, we start splitting up the tasks, man. So like, I think Corey thought we were gonna go through everything together as 5, because when I came to the idea of splitting some stuff up, my man was like shocked, like, you want me to what? Yeah, dude, I need you to build those gauntlets. Like, oh my God, I need you to build those gauntlets I said, because there's nobody else in here learning how to build no gauntlets when you already got the idea how to build the gauntlets. I said, nobody's doing that except for you. I said, so we'll work on the rest of the stuff. Give me 2 gauntlets.
I don't know. I don't know why. I knew that was a better idea for us to divide and conquer. I don't know, for some reason, I was feeling so good
Mm-hmm.
building, all of us building in the same space.
Yeah.
Like all of us like building together. And you know, it speaks to the type of relationship we have as former competitors on a competition show of Lego Masters to turn around and be a family to go up against one adversary in Buddy. And I was just living the moment, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like me and my brother, like, you know, I'm more sentimental in certain ways than he is. So I'm like, I'm getting emotional, like working with you guys. Cause it's like, you know, God, like, you know, look what we're doing right now. And, you know, we're doing something and it's like all of our personalities bouncing off each other and there's no script. There's no one in our faces, you know, asking us 100 questions, stopping us from building and stuff like that, not saying anything or anything like that, or any past experiences that I may or may not have had.
Hard ice. Hard ice.
A lot of shame, man.
Hard ice.
We got
Hard ice. Don't say anything to your teammate. Hard ice.
Hey, Jermaine, I didn't say it. Yeah, I bet you thought I was gonna say. I wasn't the one to say it. Somebody said it,
but it was different. It was different, and you know, we understand TV. We understand how TV works, and you know how you know, creating a TV show works. So it's all good, but you know, to have that type of freedom and to say like it was almost as if the cameras weren't even rolling. Like we were just building to build. And that's what really got me, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I'm gonna need hard ice. Hard ice.
Yo, man, I'm trying to sneeze.
So shout out to
Hard
Manny,
ice.
right? Shout out to Manny, right? Because that dude is like the master of many, man. Like so, like my man was building so fast, man. And it was a lot of repetitive patterns that we had to lay down. My man was putting down patterns so fast, man. You know,
I mean, me and you. I think me and you, we went through. I think we went through hundreds. I mean, through minutes. I mean, you had the front, I had the back. I mean, we whipped up that A. You know, and like you were saying, you know how Corey, you know, donned us the task, and everybody, you know, just taking that assertiveness on building, you know, what we had to do. I you know, even and that mistake that we did, you know, with the torso and still getting back and being able to do it. I mean, yeah, this was like a collective thing. Ultrabot would have not been able to have been done if it wasn't, you know, with all our collective minds. True.
Yeah, that was beautiful from the show when y'all put it on. You took it up. You was like, nah. I was like, I was in the back like,
So I'm like, you know, I'm sitting there and Manny started building fast away, and all I could think about was, man, I sure hope this is going on the right way. But I don't say nothing, right? I don't say nothing. That's why I was cool as a feather, because something told me, I said, yo, this is probably backwards. But I ain't gonna say nothing. I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. So when it tried to go down, and then it wouldn't go down, and then he started squealing. I said, and he said, hey, let it go. I'll just let it go. Just
yeah. I remember, you know,
I'm telling you, as soon as we had the pattern of the hips, man, he started putting them bricks down real fast, and I'm like, wait a minute, which? Okay, all right.
Which side? What side are we doing here? Front or back?
He was working on the back. I said I started working on the front, but I thought it was in the front, and we were working on the wrong sides. And that joint went on, and it was like,
I remember because
go down.
Jermaine, he was doing the pattern already. We were doing the pattern from like the legs, you know. So that was like a focal point. We were trying to make sure. And then Corey, you said it too. You know, on the show, you were like, you know, this is all like puzzle. We have to figure out, you know, the puzzles and stuff. So I guess when it came to that specific point in the build, I think thank God for making us, you know, that witty and that smart, you know, to correct that, you know, in split seconds and minutes and get ourselves, you know, right back in the same course of building. But yeah, I remember that. I'm like, you know, but this is wrong, Mel. I'm like, we're putting this thing on me and you, and I'm like, wait a minute, this pattern is wrong. This, I'm like, I'm looking at Mel. I'm like, I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, hold up, we did something wrong.
Yeah, man.
Fun stuff. That was fun.
You know, coming up with, and it was crazy because I recall certain parts of Ultrabot, like the colors got changed over and over and over because we're getting to a point where we're starting to use a lot of these bricks, like some of the main colors and stuff like that. And I think even the arms, at one point, the arms were supposed to be gray like the legs, but then they got flipped to black because that was next up on that. We were making bricks out of plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changes as we go.
Oh yeah.
And we all had like different color schemes too. I know Manny, you mentioned green.
Oh,
green, the turquoise.
They were going to show that. Oh, that's right. That's another funny story. So I thought they were going to
the turquoise. We had a whole lot of turquoise.
That was kind of funny. That was funny, man. You should have seen Jermaine's face.
I did start with the turquoise.
He was like, yeah, you know, man. It's, yeah, you know, I want to, you know, I don't want to waste no bricks. You know, I don't want to waste no bricks. I use all the bricks. I don't want to waste no bricks. So I'm gonna make his neck green. I said, green? Yeah, I'm gonna use these green bricks here, and I'm gonna play it all the way around. I said, all right, cool. Hey, Jermaine.
What do you think,
Jermaine? I don't want to hear it.
I said, did you know that Ultrabot is gonna have a green neck? He stopped and looked. He was like, what?
Man, I love you, Manny, but I was like, oh God, man, we can't do that.
Dude, that was the only
did do that quick though. We did do that neck quick.
When Manny
we had to do his head.
He's full tilt, bro. Ain't stopping. He like a freight train. Ain't no stopping him. So
I think was not being wasteful. My whole thing, I'm like, you know what, we have, you know, in the back of our minds, we have this idea, we have the colors. My whole thing was, you know, let's not be wasteful with the bricks. You know, we could have utilized them for something. Right. But ultimately, you know, Ultrabot, you know, he had like this look. We all had it in our minds that he was going to be Ultra. He was going to be a superhero. So, you know, I guess like in the midst of the whole thing, I'm trying to like find the use for like all the bricks there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can't have a green neck. But yeah, we did whip up his neck. We did whip up his neck. I did his neck. Mel, I think you did his. You did his whole, you know, the whole face thing. Jermaine, you were doing his arms, and then you guys were doing, you know, like the hands and stuff. Like it all worked out. Minus the green or the turquoise or what other color that I say? Yellow. We had like a mess of yellow.
He was full turquoise. I'll tell you, that was the only way I was gonna stop him, man. That's all right, cool.
No green, man.
My man said, you didn't have to do that. Yeah, I did, because he was going over to go get the brick. I said, oh man, look.
His neck was all like gritty. It was like it looked like that grid. You know, I did some gray red and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I was even surprised. That we had that. Well, not that much, but we had extra pieces left. You know, from the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. But again, it was the time. You know, so us, you know, going into this, we were realistic. Mm-hmm. You know, with you, especially Mel, checking us, you know. So there was like a realistic, you know, time frame on this. Could we have built, you know, Ultrabot to be 7-8 foot? Oh yeah, of course. Could we have done it in 24 hours? No, you know. But we made good use of all the pieces that we had. That was, you know, a good victory for us.
That's a good point, Manny, because like if you look back while they're judging it and you know, giving a verdict, you know, the young lady said she was like, you know, she wished that Ultrabot had
shoulders were bigger,
and it's like, wait a minute, at a certain piece point, that gets kind of limited. And granted, she didn't know about that, but you know, at a certain
the ingredients, we know the ingredients. She didn't know the ingredients.
Right.
But we knew that, you know, we were limited, and realistically we were aiming towards we could have aimed towards a 10-foot, you know. I still think Ultrabot is like this 10-foot character. Realistically, no, he's 5 foot. But, you know, given with the ingredients that we were given with, I mean, we could have made his shoulders. We could have done cannons off his shoulders. but no, we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to do
You
Cannon
said
shooting
Cannon.
hits
You know,
at
I
Buddy.
remember there was a sketch. I remember there was a sketch with a cannon, which would have probably been a whole lot easier than some fists.
Yeah, we
But
should
you
have
know,
done
but
Cannon
here,
throwing out
here it
cake
though.
at Buddy.
She did say that she really liked the curvature that was found all throughout the build. So you know, there's a good chance. So it's a good thing, probably them hands.
I remember the cannon. I was like, nah, because I wanted to look like Mega Man. That's why.
Travis pulls his executive card on that one, yo.
Yeah, that's okay. We're changing. We're changing.
Yeah.
So just
Hold on. Is there any rights on Ultrabot? I mean, is there any?
I know. Oh, yo, bro.
Anybody checked on that? Any rights on Ultrabot? Because I'm over here like,
you go build a 6 foot.
Ultrabot is out, you know. You can't take Ultrabot.
Technically, it is. It is.
Toy. Once it becomes a toy, that's when we start getting royalties from it, man.
Oh, let them do that.
All right.
Let Mattel get on that.
Hey, Jermaine. Had we, you know, if the sunlight had shined down on us and we made it the final 3 of Lego Masters, I was going to get you to build a standing robot. It was, you know, here's the thing with that. It sounds crazy, but everything that was made in that final was on a table. Nobody took their builds off the table. Nobody built off the table.
I know. You're talking about Lego Masters,
you would make a build that's off the table or that's standing like that, like Ultrabot.
Yeah. I mean, as long as there would have been a purpose for it, I'm all for it. I mean, for the first 4 episodes, you were trying to get me to build a transformer, and we had no need for a transformer. Like, bro,
but I
was trying, dude. Even when we made Cry Baby, I'm like, dude, do the Transformers. Nah. Like,
but Mel,
Punk City, man. Nah. I'm like, oh.
But check this out, though, Mel. I'm here thinking, like, yeah, you know, that's a good idea, but yet we were given 24 hours to do Ultrabot.
They were given 24 hours. They were given 24 hours in the final.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for finals, But I mean, anything before finals, forget it.
In the schools too.
And you got more brick. Yeah, that's why I said it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
You're right.
Yeah. So Lego Masters Season 2, if you make it to the final, you probably want to take your build off the table and build something that's standing.
If you
try to win 100 grand,
to finals,
just a hunch.
But hold on, if you made it to finals and you got 24 hours in your build, if you ain't got 24 hours in any of your challenges for Season 2, don't build anything on the floor because you know you need 24 hours though. You gotta have 24 hours for that.
Yeah, they can give them 24 hours. That's what the final is. They give them the full
finals. Yeah,
they give you the full 24. You build and they tell you build anything you want. 24. You got 24 hours to do it.
Gotta represent you.
Yep.
So,
yeah. And then absolutely right. You know, on Lego.
I swear, if I see somebody do that,
it's gonna be on you. That is the idea.
Now I'm surprised that they didn't touch on the fact that we didn't have any lights until like the last few minutes of the build.
You know what? They had those lights, and I'm gonna tell you because Buddy's sleigh had those same lights that we put in. They had those lights. Those lights were there with us, and they just wanted to see how long they was gonna sweat. And he said that we just gonna see how long he was gonna sweat it out.
Yeah. And what about the iPad too?
They kept asking you about the lights. They kept asking. I was like, oh well, we don't know. Yeah. Go across the room and go get those lights, sir, please. Yeah.
I think this is a good time to. This is a good time. I think this is a good time to talk at all the viewers that we also had to do the display, the stage. We had to do all that too.
Yeah.
These guys right here.
You know, let's not. Just let people know that we just did Legos. We also had to do the display. Thanks to Brothers Who Break, Corey and Travis.
I think that.
I mean, that's what Travis on the floor, putting the Christmas lights on and the stickers. I'm like, how can I help you here? And where's the stickers at for the box?
Yeah,
I think that was just so brilliant that how you built the gauntlets and we did the stubs and then you just lay the gauntlets right on the stubs. Not every, and I think people like with building Lego, I think people get it's the stigma that everything has to connect with something, right? Like everything has to be locked in with something, and that's not necessarily not so, right? Because we had gauntlets that just slip right on, and you didn't
Technique.
have to
We had a technique. Yeah.
And I think like you said, I think everybody pulled more out of their tank and more from their pages in this build, and it was, and I definitely appreciate it.
And it showed, it really did show.
At the end of the day, guys.
After building, alien planets and Legor and all this stuff, I guess we really ripped some pages off that book and we utilize it on this one, because after building Timmy the Monkey and building Planet Carl and you guys building all the awesome stuff that we did in Lego Masters, we definitely ripped a few pages off of that, and I was like, you know what, let's that's when you saw me building that abdomen, that was the same thought process that I had when I was building, the alien moon planet. I'm like, you know what, we got to get this built. Let's go.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question, Manny?
Yeah.
What really? I mean, how in the concept of how were you gonna take aliens and mix it up with the Western? Like how? Because those are two genres that just really don't mix. I think one person did a show about it, but I think they kind of missed it because a lot of people ain't really fans of it. So that's like two hard genres to mix up, right?
Planet Carl, the alien planet, that was actually episode 2 for the Smash, and then episode 4 was the Western mixed with the fantasy. Right. Now, for that, I don't know if you guys remember, but me and my dad actually had Rusty fantasizing when they hit us with that spin-off. I told my dad, well, let's have Rusty McGraw, fantasizing about a life, outside of crime, outside of, robbing banks. So we actually did 16 by or what was it, 8x8 segments of Rusty, just fantasizing and daydreaming. And then that's when the directors of Lego Masters was like, well, I don't think, the judges wanted you to take this in a literal sense. And then that's when we spun it off, to space aliens and stuff like that.
Yeah. I only asked that because they said
I could have put, I could have put wings on the horses and named them Pegasus horses. We could have done, Indians, doing a rain dance or something. I just don't know how our storytelling. I think our storytelling was judged more than, the Western and the saloon. Even, Boone and Mark, gave me kudos on the Western, and they were like, the Western was a hit, for the first. So then when they hit us off with that fantasy, I mean, you tell my dad about fantasy, forget it. He don't want to know nothing about mixing nothing with fantasy. So I think that was the challenge. I think the challenge more was presented on, how we could tie both those things together. When it came to Cowboys and Aliens, I mean, they made movies off of it, but when it came to us personally trying to describe it and trying to say, what we did, I think that was a challenge that, we had. We weren't expecting so much of the spin-off or, getting hit with that, we'll hit it with a fantasy. If it would have been comedic Western, then it would have been easier. If it would have been, a Western romance, way easier. We would have had Rusty McGraw, meet the dame of his life. But they hit us with a fantasy, so that fantasy challenge was, kind of hard. What do you do? In the old Westerns, you never seen these jokers, fantasizing about anything. They were, it was the Old West. So I guess that story part was the challenge. Not so much creating, the Cowboys mixed in with the aliens. It was just, well, what the hell are these, aliens doing beaming down on Rusty? Yeah. So that was, the challenge that we had, trying to convince, I guess.
It's interesting because they had Daniel Craig, the actor. He played in a movie called I think the movie was called Cowboy and Indian and Cowboy and Aliens. It was a movie where aliens was in the Wild West, and I remember that episode, man. And there was a lot of things, a lot of eliminations that I didn't like on Lego Masters. You and Pops leaving for that one, that had to been, I was the most angriest on that one, and it wasn't even because I thought what you guys built, it was nailed. Like if I was to think about what I would do with Cowboy and Alien, it would have been that. And I was just like, when I watched that, and I remember like that was the one episode that when it went down, I walked away. I was like, oh, I was livid. Yeah. I was livid because I was like, no way, yo, that was spot on. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, they said we missed the mark. That's why I asked with the fantasy. They said that me and Jermaine missed the mark on the fantasy. So it was like, yeah, you know, it's mythical creatures for fantasy. Well,
then I don't know if you remember, but we had to reach for that. We had to reach for the popcorn twice. I don't know if you guys remember, but we reached for the popcorn and we picked it up, and then they asked us,
bro, I'm gonna tell you,
wait a minute, you guys got to run back, you guys got to go back, and we had to do that all over again.
Yeah,
so
I remember, but they did that.
Like, are you comfortable sticking with your fantasy? Do you are you guys comfortable with your movie scene? I looked at my dad. I was like, I'm going for Western again. I'm happy with Western.
Bro, they did that to set up Aaron and Christian because they wanted to have that bromance thing because they would, you know, Aaron and Christian were real tight, you know. They were like Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventures, you know, and so they wanted to have that bromance theme. And so, you know, for them not to pick those two would kind of mess up the producer's story, bro. And so that's why they say, hey, everybody, you go to lunch. Remember what box you took, put it back. And then
the golden brick.
Everybody go back to the same box that you picked. That's what they say. Everybody go to the same box. Yeah. I said the fix was in, bro. The fix was in. So it's like,
and then the golden brick too.
I've seen this before. Like, you know, it's like I've seen this before. Like, you know, they must think people. And I'm in there with a police uniform on, so I'm sitting there like, yeah. I see you coming a mile away. You know, they try to hit you with the okie doke, man. You know, Willy Bobo move. You know about the Willy Bobo move.
And then the golden brick too was used. Like, the golden brick was used too on that episode.
Yeah, that was all part of it.
It was all part of it. That's the producer's story, friend. You know, and it was all part of it because the show would get real boring if somebody never uses the golden brick. They wanted to play that. They wanted to be a factor again. So you bluff somebody right out of it. You bluff them, and they hit them with the poker face, like straight poker face. No matter what you do, no matter what you build, it ain't gonna be good enough because you know what? I want that brick, bro. So I'm gonna tell you that your stuff is some garbage.
Not only that, the producers also told me too. You know, if I specifically remember the producers, they said, well, if you guys, you know, feel strong on your project, if you guys feel strong on your build, you know, just say it. And I'm over here like, you know, I think that was like a taunt, you know, that was just them, you know, like just pressing my dad's buttons, like, you know, if you guys really stand strong on this Western fantasy, you know, just say it. I think, you know, going back, I would have been like, you know, what the heck is wrong with this? You know, what's wrong with Cowboys Aliens? You know, you guys never heard of Cowboys Aliens?
But, man, you know, when they was getting ready to eliminate us, man, they come running with every piece of paper that they had out back because Jermaine said, oh man, I didn't know that was part of the rules. Like he just forgot. Like he was like, dude, I forgot that was part of the rules. They come back with all the paper. Oh, you signed this paperwork? You did it right here. Like it's like, oh man, come on, we got it. I'm like, we got it, y'all, we got it. And this how bad it was, Corey, is that the I forget her name, but the female producer, you probably didn't even get to see her, like, you know, because she was always in the back until like later, and then all of a sudden she started popping out. And she came out with the paper, and I'm like, look, we got it, we good, just roll tape. Come on, let's get this over with. Get my flight ready, bro.
Like 21 minutes to memorize 3 pages of rules. So.
Yeah, it's like get my flight ready. I dig it. So we end up talking about Lego Masters without talking about Lego Masters. But what I wanted to say was I wanted to go one more round of questions, and I'll start with Corey. If you were able to give Ultrabot some upgrades, what upgrade would you give Ultrabot?
I know what I would do.
Curtains.
You know what? To be quite honest with you, I thought I loved Ultrabot. Love Ultrabot. I would have wanted the upper body. I'm an upper body guy. I like to work out. So broad shoulders, bulk chest. I would have loved to see that on Ultrabot. I feel like even the size of it, with broader shoulders, it would give it
Green
more.
pieces.
Like, when Courtney said that, the judge, Courtney Quinn, when she said that, I was like, she took the imagery out of my mind, because that's what that's what I would love to see. The stance was powerful. I don't want to change that. The legs, I don't want to change that, but just the upper body, I would add a little more to the upper body. And I think the head, I probably would have wanted to do, you know how we had that triangle design? I probably would have wanted to put that on the mouth like that, kind of like almost like an Optimus type look when he's in battle mode, when he's about to go in battle, and he put that kind of shield on his mouth. I would have loved to probably build something like that too.
Okay.
Corey, I would have been right there with you with a bin of green pieces, bro. I would have had the green. I would have had the green pieces.
I taught some things.
This dude here. Young blood. What upgrades you giving Ultrabot?
The only upgrade I think I would love to give Ultrabot is, like the same kind of I don't know if it's wings, but like an Iron Man and Endgame, we had those wings that came out. Even with Spider-Man, when he has those things, it kind of make him seem a little larger. You know what I mean? Only because we were limited on pieces, we had to break him up basically.
Right.
So if we could have utilized like the green pieces or something like that to make like wings that are extended out to kind of give a more broader look, I think it would have really complemented the small shoulders and small chest.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to add this point to Travis's point. My favorite wrestler of all time, right now it doesn't sound like it's part of the conversation, but it is. My favorite wrestler of all time is Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man used to come to the ring with these big, elaborate robes, and it looked like capes and all that stuff. Yeah. And he said that in an interview, he said he would rock those robes and capes and come out looking like this because he was physically smaller than Hulk Hogan and all those other giants.
Yeah, he was short.
So he would do that so that way he looked physically imposing. And when Travis mentioned that, right then I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Because it would have made Ultrabot look more physically imposing and take up more space. So yeah, I just wanted to add to Travis's point.
Yeah.
What you giving Ultrabot?
You know what? I already did it. I would have made Ultrabot a clone. So, we made a smaller version of Ultrabot. He's somewhere out, fighting crime at Buddy V's house. So, I think, it would have been dope, if we would have made other Ultrabots, other like his assistant, his helper or whatever. But I think Ultrabot is Ultra. I think he's superhero. So we made him to the greatest that he could be. But yeah, again, me and Corey, we did the challenge amongst ourselves, to create a miniature Ultrabot. So I think that ultimate superpower would have been like the clone.
You smashed that chapter.
Still did it.
What you giving Ultrabot?
I don't know. I mean, if I had to change anything, I know it's supposed to be more of an upgrade thing, but I just kind of wish that I could have figured out the sculpting a little better to give him more of a humanoid shape instead of being so blocky. But I definitely, I agree with the other guys and say like something that would have given him a little bit more of a larger presence, or maybe like a lot of third-party Transformers or robots, they come with like swappable faces. So maybe if there would have been a way to give him more like personality, that way people could have connected with him a little bit more. Like, that'll probably be about it. But ultimately, like Manny said, we did the best that we could with the time that we had and the resources we had. I wish we had 48 hours with twice as many bricks and really be able to show people what we could do, you know?
Mhm.
Now, this was like the Lego Masters, stage with those ingredients, 3 million bricks, versus
That's why I
100,000.
said, yeah, that's why I said that
Oh yeah,
Ultra is a Final 3 project, but hands down,
yeah.
it's a Final 3 project. It is.
Facts.
I would give Ultrabot not rocket boots, but I would give him a rocket pack on his back just because it looks more fierce. Even though he already had the Iron Man technology with the hands and stuff like that, but I would add a rocket backpack on his back just to give some flair.
Mel, but with or without Jermaine's smoke machine? I mean, with
I didn't say
with the smoke machine or without?
Get ready to rip somebody.
But you know what? If you did that, the jetpack,
man,
that
you just said with
would
the
have
smoke
been
machine.
that would have been fire.
It would have been
Smoke
fire.
coming out of the
Yeah.
jetpack,
Yeah, we probably would have beat Buddy.
that'd have
And
been
then
killer.
I think I think
Would have put it right back on Jermaine.
I'll include this
Smoke
too.
wasn't changed.
I guess Buddy he had like an up on us because with the Legos he was like it's static. He knew, or in some odd way shape he
Not
knew that we
necessarily
weren't.
true, because we could.
I know, but he didn't know that. We could have put movement on Ultrabot, but
Yeah, we
we
could.
didn't. And I'm hearing like, how did he have that one up on saying, they have no movement yet again, we're gonna have this sort of movement, static. I'm over here like again, if we had the right ingredients, I mean, we could have had Ultrabot, riding into the studio too.
Yeah.
Again,
You know
the
something?
parts, the pieces.
You know something too? When you look at, because I think when we were building Ultrabot, in the back of our minds, and we were kind of going. I think we were looking at, when you go to Legoland and you see those life-size Lego sculptures. It's all one solid piece of Lego that they're building together. You could look at it and you could just see that, it's a sculpture. But like when it comes to Ultrabot, I feel like we took that toy aspect and we put it together as if it was an actual toy.
Yeah.
You want an action figure, you could take the arms off, you could take the torso, the legs off, the head off, you could take all those parts off. And I think because you could look at the bot itself and you could see we literally assembled it piece by piece by piece instead of one solid build with all.
In reality,
I think we definitely did something, that other people in the community, Lego community, who's done this longer and who have stuff all over, they haven't even done stuff like this.
In reality, Ultrabot was the essence of the show, though. It's like when we heard the premise of what would a child want under the tree,
He said
all
it.
the toys that Buddy had is not something today's kids are gonna want under the tree.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. I don't care where you want to look, where you want to turn. Today, kids are still playing with the toys, but even more than toys, they're playing with iPads and Nintendo Switch or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Everything is, even what we're doing now is technology. Everything he had was Stone Age compared to what we had.
Yeah.
So I think Ultrabot really stands out, especially with the iPad being in the middle. He really stands out of what today's kids would want.
Yeah.
No kid, I don't know about you, but I don't think any kid's gonna go to the go-kart, with all those toys on it. I guarantee you all the kids are gonna want Ultrabot.
Oh yeah, indeed.
So,
And they said that. Yeah, they said that like we were
Yeah.
actually the toy of the future. So
yeah.
Who else is here glad that we didn't do Nutcracker?
this guy. Yo, so
Man, I think
We
that
don't talk
would've
about
been
that because a
crazy
lot of
if you
people
said,
don't know the process. Like a lot
so
of
my
people
man,
think
my
that we
man got
jumped
me
on-
right. My man got me when he said, "Hey, look, you guys are channeling, some Iron Man right here, man. But he said that he was like, yeah, this, your bot, reminds me a bit of Iron Man, and that right there, I knew like we definitely, put our thing down, man. I said, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Said,
I
oh,
mean,
A lot of people don't know. Like we had challenges amongst ourselves as a team like, you know, the decision making skills and you know, making that right decision, you know. People just don't know the process before the show. Like all five of us got together and we discussed certain things, and ultimately we got to Ultrabot. But there was other ideas. Just imagine if we would have stuck to the teddy bear or the nutcracker or anything else, you know.
Yeah, we came this close to building Manny's elephant.
Yeah.
Thank God we
That's right.
did that. You're gonna miss Ultrabot.
Yeah.
Am I gonna miss Ultrabot?
Yeah.
No, it's forever gonna be at Make-A-Wish in New Jersey.
All right.
They said they're gonna preserve it, and they're gonna make sure that it's in a safe place.
Cool.
Nice.
So that
I'm
was
making my own Ultrabot.
that was the
My
main
own-
thing for me. Like that's why, like some people ask, like even this morning I wake up and you know a lot of people hit me up like, "Yo, y'all should have won," blah blah blah, and I'm like,
Sure.
we did. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
my mom was pissed. Like she was like, "Oh, y'all should have. He didn't do anything," and I'm like,
Yep.
Mom, we won. Like our build is at a Make-A-Wish.
Right.
They donated the money in our name to
Right.
Make-A-Wish.
Right.
His cake is gone. Like that go-kart cake is gone. It's
Yeah.
only pictures and the only thing you're gonna remember of it.
Yeah.
So
Your names are on the brick at the Make-A-Wish.
yeah. And at the end of the day, you know, our niece, me and my brother's niece, you know, she is a Make-A-Wish kid. You know, she's still a Make-A-Wish kid. She goes to the events. You know, she has her struggles and stuff like that. But you know, for her to, that's why I was trying not to like get all emotional during the tapings and all that stuff. But yeah, that's my sister. That's her mother right there, Melinda.
Yeah.
So that's my niece's mother or whatever. And
What people don't understand,
it
or
meant a
what
lot.
what they won't get is how we were fulfilled by giving. Like,
Yeah.
People don't understand that we
Yeah.
are fulfilled because we gave. This wasn't so much, you know, for our glory, but this was more for, you know, the benefit of somebody else. You know,
Exactly.
this wasn't for our help. You know, yeah, we lend a hand as a team and we did everything collectively, but we did it, you know, so we could be fulfilled knowing that we gave back. And I think that's the most important part that everybody should get out of this. We didn't do this, you know, for our own thrills and giggles. We did this, you know, because we had a chance and an opportunity to create some artistically and give back. And it profited and it benefits somebody else.
1 second, be right back.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I think we should start a challenge on Ultrabot.
I got too
No?
many projects in the work, bro. I am
No,
not.
like no more Ultrabots.
I'm gonna start saying no. I'm start saying no. I got
No,
so many projects in the work, man, and it's a lot of, you know, like so many stuff on. You get a lot of stuff on the burner, man, and it's you're overwhelmed, man. I'm not taking on any
Right.
new projects, no new projects. But
Yeah,
you know,
you might see that on my
I'm a-
thread or on my end. I might create, you know, Ultrabot on my collection, and you know,
be careful, man.
have
Because
them.
you know, the Cake Productions might own that, man. So you better be careful. You mess around and you get a trip with the three wise guys, man. They come see you. So I'm gonna end on this note here. You know, I learned a lot from these four guys up here, man. And you know, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything in the world. And I can't wait until the next one, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Redemption Road, brothers. We're on it.
Fresh on the scene, back out 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 fresh on the scene,
Back out fresh on the scene.
back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team, franchise best on the team,
Franchise best on the team.
back out fresh on the scene.
Back out fresh on the scene.
All right, we out. Say good night, Corey.
Oh,
Peace.
rocking.
This guy over here, then.
When we playing the game, you was in there dancing. I play for you
I'm over
afterwards.
I'm over here yawning. I'm over here.
Take care, man.
Thanks,